Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. Say go so, the remix.
DMB, Tuck Spice, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time. Within it took a long fine eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the pen station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms, feeling so tough. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. And now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, a killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a Coke bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess with your beauty. I'm impressed and I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger. We look good together, take your place in my heart. With your beauty I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
So the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. If you touch as a breeze at night, all I really want in my life. Oh yeah, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing eye. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. What beautiful girl? Yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money. You seen her? Hot Ice. Have you seen her? LP. Have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's DMB, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace up with presents and gifts, call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me Aston Kutcher, I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'ma go get her. Since I'm a go getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world, anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes.
it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
Man of prestige. Ha! Now this guy win. Now you win. Now you win today. Now you win. Now you win. I agree. Man of prestige. Now man you be.
I'm sure some people will be jealous now the way I talk about Ola. But I have learned a lot from him. That's why I keep telling you to follow him. If you don't follow Man of Prestige, now you know.
Alright, what's going on? Hit that like button. Hit that like button as you're coming in. Welcome. How's everybody doing? Good? Listen, I wasn't gonna come live, I promise you, but I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Because it's not every time we have a chance to come live. How's everyone doing? Good? Alright, let me move my mic close to me just to make sure we're sounding good. Alright, so as usual, we do have a show. We have a live show. What's going on, everyone? Good to see you all. Hit that like button as you're coming in. I beg. Either you're watching replay or you're here live with me. Hello, Nani. Good to see you, Nani. Either way, hit that like button for me. I appreciate you. I'm missing like 3 right now already, maybe 2. All right, so thank you so much. All right, so oh my God, the story that keeps giving, the story that never ends. Yeah, sadly for bad reasons, but for not such a good reason. But we're here celebrating this young man's life. R.I.P. to Mohbad. As we are speaking, I think they're still at the candlelight event in Lekki. So Mohbad was a young, vibrant, promise. His name, Ileri Oluwa. His career looked very promising. They already had a few hits under his belt. He had already been traveling the world just in the past few weeks. London, Greece, different places, but for the past 2 years of his life, he had been scared for his life. He left a record label called Malian Music. And as opposed to filing a lawsuit in court if he breached the contract, they allegedly resorted into using street muzzles to bully him, okay, to try to force him into submission back to the label. And he was always afraid for his life. In fact, there was an occasion where the apartment or where they were staying were raided, and he alleged that the Drug Abuse Regulation Agency of Nigeria, NDLEA, gave him some water. The mother, who he's left behind now, has claimed that ever since he drank that water, he's never been himself. He was always afraid. He was scared. Bottom line is that on September 12th, this young man lost his life, and no one can trace back to outside of the bullying how he lost his life. So there's a lot of investigations going on right now. Investigation was initiated yesterday. The police, Nigerian police force, says it will take 2 weeks, and but as of today, his body has already been exhumed. In fact, one of the mystery about his passing was like within 24 hours after he passed, his father insisted that he must be buried. He was buried. There was also there was also the head of that particular community that came out that they tried to bury him the same night he died. All of that looked very suspicious because they are not exactly Muslims or practicing Muslims. The father, in fact, has been accused of trying to start a church. He actually said he wanted to, his son was going to build a church for him. But yeah, that's what we're covering. We're covering we're covering the investigation as much as we can. I didn't think I was going to continue today outside of maybe a small 10-minute segment. But you know what? There were some updates today. For the first time today, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a break. You know, when I woke up, I was like, I'm going to take a break. But by the time it was about a few minutes before this time we normally go live, I remembered that earlier on today, my wife shared a TikTok live where they actually filmed everything from the exhumation of his body. They filmed everything all the way from the woods of Ikorodu, all the way coming out. They were filming it, we were watching it for quite a while. So that was quite weird. They put his body in a body bag in a Sienna, in a Toyota Sienna. That was all weird to me, you know, that was all weird. But it's Nigeria, so at least we know that the investigation is going on. Because I kept looking at the Sienna, I was like that casket cannot fit in that Sienna. I kept looking until one point one day I was like, okay, yeah. Of course they discarded the casket and then put his body in a body bag, you know. There were also videos of people filming where it was exhumed. They were saying there were fresh blood, and it looks like some people were speculating that he might have been trying to fight for his life. Maybe he was buried alive. There's a lot of speculations around that. Yeah, so we'll continue kind of like the coverage today. We're gonna get into it, the coverage of the passing and the investigation of what happened to Mohbad. All right. So, but today we're going to particularly pay a little bit more attention to fake love police. What is fake love? Fake love police, right? Fake love detectives. There are people out there who they just can't help it. They're always looking for. They're always obsessed with right and wrong. They're obsessed with the past. They're obsessed with the future. And because of that, they always miss out on what is happening in front of them right now. They have a chronic disability. They're not able to appreciate the present, which is precisely missing out on life, on beauty of life, right? Listen, I said the word obsession, right? Of course, we should learn from our past. Of course, we should plan for the future. But when you're obsessed with the past and the future, you'll miss out on life, right? You're paranoid. Right? You're paranoid. So yeah, Davido shows up. He showed up early. I think they're still there actually to the live concert, candlelight procession that they're doing in Lekki, which I think they're still there. And in fact, let me show some video for you, and then I'll do the house rules in a second. Right? And some people are not too happy with the type of light and attention that this issue is getting. Okay, some people are not happy. They're just looking for ways. You know, we already know that Nigerians get distracted. If Nigerians find a way to laugh, they will laugh and they will forget about their misery, smiling and suffering. It is what it is. That's what we're known for. But in this particular case, people are taking this very, very seriously, and people are paying attention, all that kind of stuff. But some people are actively they're trying to be the fake love police, fake love detectives, right? They want to say, hey, why is everybody coming out? Why no help when he was alive? That's a very, very stupid question. I have no choice though to call it what it is. It's a very, very stupid question. And I'll explain that in a second. But before I go into that, let me play this video of Davido and Zlatan just literally a few minutes ago before I jumped on this live. Let's go.
You know, apart from justice being done, you know, definitely I call on all entertainers.
That's Davido talking.
I call on all influencers. I call on all business people in Nigeria to come together and make sure that his child and his wife and his parents are taken care of. And as I'm here today, and as I'm here today, I want everybody put your phone lights up. Everybody put your phone lights up. Phone lights, everybody. Everybody put your phone lights up. Put your phone lights up. Phone lights up, phone lights up, phone lights up, phone lights up. Phone lights up, phone lights up, phone lights up. R.I.P. Mohbad. I'm so sad that you're not here to see the support that everybody is giving you. Everybody in the world is calling my phone, not only in Nigeria, but in America, in London, in Dubai, in India. The whole world is listening to your music. You know, I flew all the way down here for this. And you're here, you know you're here. Apart from justice being done, you know. Rest in peace, rest in peace, I definitely lost a lot of people in my life, and, I understand a lot of my life. But there's one thing I want to say to everybody. Apart from justice being done, even apart from justice being done, definitely, I call on all entertainers, I call on all influencers, I call on all business people in Nigeria to come.
Yeah, good evening everyone. My dream with Mohbad. I will start by quoting the Bible verse, Matthew chapter 5 verse 5, which says, blessed are those that mourn, for they shall be comforted. They are here rescuing the world, they comforting the death of our beloved Mohbad. As is the promising symbol of hope to many young believing Nigeria, springing out from different parts of the country, different backgrounds, and most of all, every part of the world that love his music and are willing to chase their dream to the fullest.
All right. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm gonna play this second video. That was Latan and Davido paying their last respect. In this video, I think I see. Let me see. I won't be able to play that music. That's the sister-in-law and Aniala Badmos, and I think the wife. Was also there. This was all less than 2 hours ago. Okay, so they're celebrating him. That's good stuff. All right. So anyway, I wanted to start the show with that, but I also want to let's do house rules. My name is Ola. I'm coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Hit that like button, share, subscribe. Let's get everybody in the house. If you're just coming in, make sure you announce yourselves. Tell me where you're coming in, where you're coming from, your name, whatever, Let me know you're here hanging out. Good to see you anyway, regardless, okay? I appreciate you. Shout out to all our sponsors, Richie, Life with Natu, Adesu, Film Girl, Open Floor by Tima, Shell Mama, Gorex Corner, D Love. Shout out to you. Thank you so much. You can join our sponsors simply by clicking the join button on the channel, and you can also download the book, our books, for free. It's going to be our books by December 30. Right now it's just one. Okay, there you go. Free book, Masterclass at Love and Prestige.com. You can download it absolutely for free. Why free, Ola? Because we're on a mission. Okay, we're on a mission. Okay, people need skills on the one single most important thing they're going to do with their lives: romantic relationships. Okay, so, and we're on a mission to help. This is a calling. Okay, so with or without you all, we're doing this. In fact, I just received the hard copy. Check that out. Oh my God. I just received the hard copy just literally a few minutes ago of our second book. It's called The Number One Red Flag. For this one, you can get on the waiting list with the same place, but you can get instant access to the original book, Get My Marriage Back, which I run out of copies, so I can't show you that right now. But we have some more of that coming. Okay, so you can download them at loveandprestige.com. Over here, we talk about relationships. We use trendy topics to extract relationship-based lessons. Okay, so we talk about relationship from a place of self, power, social, seduction, attraction, emotional intelligence standpoint. We focus on the things you can control, not the things you can't control. AKA blame, fault, whose fault. We don't care about those kind. We kind of, but that belongs on different platforms. Over here, we talk about the things you are able to control. Okay, and so we tend to focus more so on coaching. Okay, and we stay away from, if you need mental health treatments and stuff like that, we don't cover that here. Okay. All right. Chinye Alpha, how you doing? Chinye, good to see you. Oluyomi, hello from London, UK. Good to see you. I appreciate you. All right. So, like I said, we're here to just extract lessons all day long, lessons that can help you in your relationships. But yes, we use trendy topics to extract those lessons. All right, and you can join the group at lolaanola.com/WhatsApp. Okay, I think there are 6 people that joined the new group so far. I posted in the community page. If we have 100, we will switch over there. But for now, I will start using it more actively and move everybody over there. The reason being that I don't want people's phone numbers exposed because there are scammers everywhere. So WhatsApp has a new feature now called the channel. Okay, that way we can, we can make sure that everybody is safe and nobody's trying to scam anybody. And you can use this phone number too. You can just text a WhatsApp text to this phone number. We'll get you inside of the group. All right. With that being said, let's get into today's conversation. I've got a few small stories to cover before we go back into the Mohbad story. And I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. We're still going to one more. I don't know if it's one more, but there's a lesson here that I want us to extract a little bit further lessons from the Jeezy and Jinemai's story. Okay, let's talk about Jeezy and Jinemai. Okay, Jeezy is a rapper, American rapper. Hello, Mo Fresh, good to see you. Jeezy is an American rapper, and what you may call themselves. Jinemai is she's a talk show host, okay, TV personality. They got married just about a few years ago, and about 2 years. Their marriage lasted about 2 years. That's about it, unfortunately. And today, there's reports that came out. Somebody who is also close to them, insider, allegedly says she's fighting for her marriage. All right. Now, I know you see that little topic on the screen over there. Just hear me out. Okay. Hear me out. Okay. Hear me out. Let's talk about it. The danger of fighting, actually, it should be the danger of fighting for your marriage. Okay. Oh, yeah, we could say fight as well. But I think it sounds better when we say fighting, right? For a marriage during divorce, maybe it's more so the downside, right? The downside of fighting. Yeah, I think it's more appropriately put, the downside. I'll keep it that way as the topic. But the downside of fighting for a marriage during divorce is what I want to talk about. Okay, so there's news broke out. Not broke out. Some few days ago, yeah, we can say breakout that Jeezy filed for divorce, right? So Jeezy filed for divorce, and obviously that kicked against the typical rhetoric on the internet that it's only women that file for divorce, blah blah blah, and stuff like that, So, but what we've heard today in the news, what we've seen today is that she's decided that she's holding on for hope. She's holding out for hope, and she plans to fight for her marriage. She's hoping that he will get back in his senses. I'm trying to see if I can see a proper statement, right? So this was earlier this month. It was revealed that Jeezy has filed for a divorce from his wife of 2 years, Jeannie Mai, right? Reportedly, the rapper is also seeking joint custody of their 1-year-old daughter, Monaco. What a name. The pair also had a prenup in place and were already separated, according to reports. Well, there was also another report yesterday saying that they had distance. Is that what they mean by separated? Has it been living in the second condo in the other city, on the other side of town, on the other side of the coast of the United States, right? News of the duo's divorce came out as somewhat of a shock of fans who have seen. I'm reading from Hot New Hip Hop, right? .com. On social media in recent weeks. With that being said, there's been a lot of speculation surrounding the catalyst for their split. Some think that privacy concerns are to blame, while others suspect distance, differing approaches to parenting. We talked about that yesterday, right? And more. Neither of the two have spoken out themselves since the news broke. However, recent reports suggest that family expectations, we talked about that yesterday, and expectations that are off, family expectations values were off, right? Though it appears as though the divorce is amicable, it doesn't look like the divorce is amicable. But anyway, reportedly, as of today, Jidamai reportedly wants her family back. According to a source who spoke with Page 6, she's devastated that Jeezy filed for divorce. They had that the host wants her family unit back. That's the host of The Real, right? I think they're The Real. Not Your Views, right? I'm sorry, The View, right? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyway, she did not get married to get divorced. This was not a part of the plan. This is not how she ever imagined things would go down. Okay. Even though Jeezy has filed, Jeannie is holding out hope that he would be willing to sit down and work things out. All right, so this is one of those things that, you know, your natural knee-jerk reaction when you're going through this kind of stuff is to fight. Just fight for the marriage, right? What does fight mean? That's first of all, what does fight mean? And I thought it'd be a good one to talk about in a few minutes before we get back to the main business of this live stream. Right? What does fight mean to you? Chinya says, I hope Jay will calm down by coming to the drawing to Jay. Is it Jeezy? Is that what you mean by Jay? If it doesn't work out, he can move on. Right. You hope it calms down. Okay. You're talking about Jeezy, right? Okay. Much better. Good to see you. I've seen your name, but I don't think I've seen you on the live session. Welcome. Says, I think they were naming her after the Principality of Monaco. Oh, okay. Good to know. I think Jeannie was blindsided. Yeah. Most men that have gone through divorce claim that they were blindsided. They claim that particularly from, not that they weren't served properly, but they didn't see it coming, right? I think it's natural. If you're not the one who served the breakfast, it's pretty natural to feel like you were blindsided, because you never think that any small conflict can be enough for the other person to file first. Unless you're the one filing first, you never see it as, whatever the issues are, you never really see it as big enough. So it makes sense that they feel that way. If that baby video congratulating him on his book didn't work, nothing will work. He can even interpret that as manipulation. That's the funny thing. You know, the way the human emotions work, it tends to kick against knee-jerk reaction or like obvious best move to make, right? The emotions kind of like tend to work opposite of that. Human emotions tend to work opposite. He might have even interpreted that, particularly when there's crisis or there's damages in the relationship. He might have seen it as manipulation. You know how somebody's apologizing to you, but you feel like the issue has not been addressed, and it feels like they're trying to brush the issue under the rug. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, and you're like, it's like, I'm sorry, it's supposed to kind of fix everything, but it works against what you're trying to achieve. This is why people need to learn how emotions work. No, forget learning. Learn it, but in addition to that, remain a student of emotional intelligence. Okay. Jesus' name is Jay. I think I saw his name somewhere earlier on today. I forgot. Something Wilson. Is it Jay? Interesting. Okay. Anyway, Jeezy, American rapper. All right. So now, the danger of fighting for a marriage during divorce. First of all, I don't think there's anything wrong with fighting for the marriage. It just depends on if your method of fighting is going to work or not. Okay. Most people method of fighting is not going to work. Most people method of fighting is calling, crying, over showing out on social media. For example, the baby video, congratulating with the book and all that kind of stuff. That's some people's idea of fighting. And that type of fighting will not work. That type of fighting will work against the idea of them coming together. Okay. And most people's type of fighting will basically rub the other person off the wrong way. Okay. So, for example, holding on to that person is literally, if it means not letting go, it will not work. Okay. In fact, precisely the only thing that works, that increases the chances of them getting back together, is to let go. I know that kicks against knee-jerk reaction. It kicks against conventional wisdom, right? It's like, I'm fighting. You should see that I'm fighting for this marriage and just fall in love back with me all over again. Yeah, that's not how it works. Because there's a reason why he's running away from that relationship. Okay. If I forget that, there's a reason why the marriage is inside of Poto already. There's a reason why there's damages, right? And anything, most people's idea of fighting is like trying to just rub the wound small and just, and then this is why we call it manipulation and controlling, or particularly manipulation in this case, is that it seeks out for a cookie cutter, like a quick way of fixing the issue. Let me just say I'm sorry and get over it. Let me just celebrate you. Never mind time, process, right? Patience. Like now, just forgive me now. It's the same idea of trying to manipulate people to forgiveness by saying things like, oh, the forgiveness is for you. The forgiveness is for you. Just forgive and move on. Yeah. And the person is like, I know, some of them might even be like, yeah, that's true, that's right, that's true, but tomorrow they will bring up the issue again. You're like, why are you still bringing up the issue? I thought you said you forgave me. No, I forgot that I forgave you. I want to forgive, but it's difficult. I'm having a hard time forgiving. Right? That's the best case scenario. If they're able to say that they're actually having a hard time forgiving, that's actually the best case scenario. They are very close to possibly forgiving once and for all, if they can say that. Most of the time they can't say that because they're actually in the middle of another new argument. They feel the same way they felt the first offense. So it's very difficult, right? So a lot of time when people say fighting for their marriage, they're trying to use manipulative methods. They might be inviting family members from whom are here, or from Oshogbo or Bumosho, to come and help them beg their wife or their husband to stay. It only makes things worse. For the most part, it only makes things worse. And the worst part about that is that people are not able to explain that exactly how they are feeling They're not able to put it into words exactly how they're feeling, you know. So it gets very, it's a very difficult, that's why I always say it's easier said than done. So if she's hoping and that hope is kind of getting out from their camp, or if it's true, it only makes sense that she's showing it. She's probably trying to kiss up to him and trying to beg him to stay and to, you know, please don't leave, like let's work it out. That's not gonna work. The reason why it won't work is because he will start, there's a reason why he's trying to run. He will start to feel like it's clouding his judgment. The best thing to do is to let go so that he can naturally, organically come to a place where we say, oh, well, I want to keep my family together. Now, obviously, when you have fear that you might lose your family, that's an extremely difficult thing to do. Right? You feel like every day that you wait, that you don't, quote unquote, fight, they're slipping away from you. Right? That person is slipping away, right? Well, if you remember, well, if this is a typical situation, if you remember way back, right? The person was not forced to be in a relationship with you, right? They weren't forced to be in a relationship with you. It was organic. For a typical situation, it was organic. People took their time. Nobody was forced in the situation. So you can imagine now in a situation where there's damages, there's crisis, meaning we've sown some kind of seed of resentment. You now know each other. There's a level, significant obviously, level of see finish, which is why somebody is filing for divorce. This is the time that you're actually going to need the organic rebuilding things back up. More so now is when you need it, because there's been damages, right? This is now that you really need it. D-Love, welcome. I see you, my sister. How are you? All right. It's now that you actually need it the most. Not when you didn't know each other, right? Everybody was falling in love. It was organic. Well, during this damages that's going on, divorce, somebody just filed for divorce, is when they need it the most. You need things to be organic. And the idea of calling this family member, post something on social media so you can appease them, will work against the goal, because they will feel like they're being manipulated. The worst part is that they can't explain their feelings in words, but that's how human brain works, right? They will feel like somebody's manipulating them. It clouds their judgment. The best place for them to rekindle things is to have as close as possible to clear judgment, so they can actually make that decision for themselves. Okay? And you can actually increase that. You can make that faster by letting go. What does that look like in action? You acknowledge that you didn't get here overnight. You have to acknowledge that. What did somebody say earlier? What was the word? Was it Chiye? What was the word that you used earlier? Let me see if I can find it. Yes, was it? Okay, yeah, blindsided. Blindsided. If she keeps saying, in this case, she's the one that's collecting breakfast, right? If she's saying things like blindsided, it's going to be offensive. Right? This could be the woman, it could be the husband. It's going to be offensive. Like, what do you mean blindsided? I've been telling you for the longest. If you're saying you're blindsided, that means you're not willing to change. You're not willing to learn. So the first thing is to acknowledge that you didn't get there overnight. Right? It just takes self-awareness, a level of emotional intelligence to just acknowledge that, no, we didn't get here overnight. I understand. Let me know if you change your mind, and leave it at that. Now, that's an extremely difficult thing to do, because everything in you wants to, if you're the one that wants the marriage back, you want to fight, right? These are the dangers. I guess one danger, but multiple dangers in so many dangers, right? Of the idea of fighting for a marriage. Your natural self want to, to resist the reality what just happened, and resistance persistence, they tend to go together when when you're dealing with people's emotions. So if you let go, right, the letting go is a shocker because most human beings don't know how to do that, right? Imagine if somebody is pulling a rope, they're pulling a rope. Let me see if I can find a good picture to illustrate this, right? Imagine, right? Let me see. What do they call that? I think there's a name for it, right? If two people are pulling a rope from two sides of the rope. I think I found something. There you go. Okay, all right. I found something cool to use for illustration here. Yeah, I think it's a good one. Hold on one second. Yeah. All right, there you go. Let's use these two guys right here. So imagine if both of you are pulling, right? If both of you are pulling, the other person is pulling. They're saying they're going their own way, but you're pulling them back. Right now, you get stuck in a tug of war. Yes, thank you for that. Thank you. Now you're stuck in a limbo, right? They're leaving. They're trying to go, but you don't see that they're also pulling, right? The only thing you see is the divorce. You feel the pain of the divorce. You feel the reality of, wow, this person is leaving me. That's what you feel. So you're trying to pull them back. Don't go. I'm holding on to hope. I'm fighting. Stay. Please stay. What does Tari say? Tari said, please stay. Don't leave me. Right? So what does Tari say? Tari says, I came back home to fight for my marriage, but he's engaged in active argument with a woman who is running away from him. Right? That's war. Right? So now you can't see that they're fighting. It looks like they let go. But that's not the reality. They're filing for divorce doesn't mean they're let go. The reality is that you all are, especially if there are kids, you're stuck together actually for the life of those kids. That's the reality, right? And you need to be sure of that, and you need to know that and be sure of it and be confident in that. Like, if that person belongs in your world, they will find their way back organically to you. And if they can't find their way back to you, yeah, the damages were too bad. You guys are not meant together to be together, whatever, right? But if you keep pulling them in the name of you're hoping to hope, and you keep pulling them to stay with you, it's war. You can't see that as war. You think you're trying to draw them, you think you're loving them and all this kind of stuff, but it's a bad idea. Okay, so now if this red person lets go of the rope, what happens? Okay, anybody can go in the chat, please. If you're listening to me, if you're engaged with me, hit 1 in the chat. Hit one. Let's go. So we can get back to the other stories. Hit 1 in the chat. If the person in red right now, this illustrative human being, if they let go of the rope, what will happen? Anyone wanna tell? What will happen if they let go of the rope? Let's go. What will happen? Let's do it. If they let go, what will happen? I'm waiting. I'm coming to the chat in a second. So if one person lets go of the rope, if the person in red lets go of the rope, what will happen? Let me see. Okay, the other person will fall. Yay. Yep. They will fall. What does that look like in real life when we're dealing with emotions? What does that look like in real life if we're dealing with emotions? A fall, shock. Any other words you can use to describe if you let go and that person falls? Any other words at an emotional level you can use to describe that fall? Any other word will work. Tell us any other word you think will happen if one person lets go and they fall. Let's find a word that describes what happens to that person that falls emotionally. All right. Let's see here. The white one would fall backwards. Yes, the one in white will fall. Nini says devastated. Well, devastated, yes, but there's another level. Devastated is emotion, right? But remember, they're already devastated. That's why they're filing for divorce, right? Like the last thing that Jeezy wants to do in this situation is to file for divorce, but he found himself in this space. He's given up. He said, you know what? This is not going to work. What did he say? He said, irretrievably broken. No chances of reconciliation, right? So he's already devastated, right? But what happens? But he's still pulling, because at an emotional level, he's stuck with you. He's stuck with you. He's filing divorce because he's trying to run. But that's when a person files for divorce, it doesn't mean they are suddenly happy. Never mind what Housewife of Atlanta said. Divorce party, never mind. All of them are liars, okay? Divorce is a devastating thing for anyone to be going through. Either they serve the breakfast or they are being dished the breakfast. Either side are devastated, right? It looks on the other side, the other person is running away, which is why a bunch of men on social media are pointing fingers at the woman who filed for divorce. The reality is that both sides are devastated, but it looks like that person is suddenly your enemy, right? Because out there, they file divorce and destroy the family. That's how your brain is working it, right? That's how you feel. But the other person that's filed for divorce is the last thing they want to do is file for divorce. They're just trying to survive now at this point. They deem the marriage as, you know what? If I don't take care of myself, this marriage is going to destroy me, right? That's how they see it. But they're still in a state of devastation. That's why when people come out of divorce, they still need to go through healing. That's why anybody coming out of divorce trying to teach people without going through healing will only destroy more people. Okay? So, there's a certain level of anxiety that you have when a person files for divorce. You're anxious. You're always waiting for one day you wake up. What people were doing today when I was watching the live stream of after the body of Mohbad was exhumed. You see a lot of people in the chat saying they were fantasizing about the idea that the dead body will wake up. Nigerians are weirdos. I am a Nigerian, so I can say that, right? They see a bunch of people in the chat fantasizing about the idea that it's just going to wake up, right? Am I saying it's not possible? I didn't say that though. Okay, but if this one wakes up right now, what about the other dead bodies? Should they wake up too? Right? That's not how life works. So, but anyway, the anxious. I'm talking about the anxiety, the anxious, right? So when somebody files for divorce, they try to leave you, right? That creates anxiety, ongoing anxiety that just makes you're always anxious. And you're not anxious means you're not in the present. You're obsessed with the past, you're obsessed with the present, you're hoping. Going back to the word hope now, right? We're going back to the word hope. What is Jeremiah doing? She's hopeful, right? There's nothing wrong with hope. Hope is a very useful tool when you're going through life crisis, okay? But there's a place you get to that in that hope that you start losing yourself and you're missing out on life, right? And letting go there's a blurry line between letting go of hope and letting go. And there's that sweet spot you're looking for where hopeful is not mutually exclusive from letting go. There's that sweet spot that you're looking for, right? And that's when you say, I understand. Let me know if you change your mind. But you don't hold yourself hostage, right? Of course, you take time to heal. In the middle of taking time to heal, they might come back. If there is room in your life for them to come back, then you decide to actually learn what you need to learn about marriages and relationship before you go into that situation. Because if you don't do that, you repeat what you did before. It's your shadow. It follows you everywhere you go. Okay? But when the red guy, okay, in this case, we're talking about the red right now will be Jinemai. Okay? When she lets go, right? This is what's going to happen to he doesn't look like he's holding on to anything, but he is. It doesn't really have a choice. He's holding on to something. He's still part of their lives. Either he realizes it or not. Okay? But when she lets go, right? When she finds the sweet spot between letting go and hopeful, if it's necessary at all, right? Because once you there's a place you let go that the hope thing is like, when he comes back, he needs to earn me back. He needs to literally earn me back. Because how dare you? I guess, not how dare you, it's an attitude, it's a mindset, right? You were willing to let go. You couldn't let go because we're stuck anyway. But you were literally actively attempting to let go of our marriage. You've lost all sense of value for what we had. If a person is in any type of relationship with you like that, and if they are trying to sever that relationship like that, they've lost all sense of value, right? So holding on to it only make things worse, right? If they do come back, they need to do the same work you're going to do. Because clearly they've lost all sense of value, okay? And I'm talking about the dangers now, right? This is what happens when Jinemai lets go of that rope. She's going to effectively pass all of that anxiety that she has on him. It's going to feel like, wait, why is it so easy for her to let go? Because there's a good chance she's already begging, she's showing, she's posted on social media trying to appease him. If she suddenly stops, right, he's going to be on his butt. Now, it doesn't necessarily look like that on the surface. You just have to trust that human beings have patterns, and they have, when it comes to emotions, and that's just how it works. If you've been doing something and suddenly you stop, and that person is engaged actively in life with you, which is the reality, divorce or not, right? If you let go, they're going to feel that shock, and you have to, understand that they feel that shock. If that shock is not even good enough for them to look back and say, so you're not going to say anything? Right? If it's not good, then you need to, Now, here's the thing. You shouldn't be waiting for them to come back. The wait is a dangerous game. It's a very dangerous game. What you should do is the same thing we talk about here all the time. Re-engage self-love. Re-engage self-respect. Re-engage self-worth. Because clearly, they also mimicked this. The way they value is also, they've been mimicking the way you value yourself. That's why they were looking to let go, because there's no value in being with you. There's no, a person who is filing for divorce does not see value in continuing life with you. That's the point, right? So when you let go, right, distance make the heart fonder, right? Anything that's readily available is taken for granted. All those principles, right? That's how the human mind works, right? When you let go, they're going to feel it. Okay, but if you let go and you start waiting, you will break. Okay, you will break because you're a human being, and you're going to continue pulling the rope again, and then it gets worse because then you're not consistent. You're doing back and forth, right? So the idea of most people when it comes to fighting for marriage is a terrible, terrible strategy. It's a terrible strategy. Okay, it makes the other person resent you more. It demonstrates to them more so that that they already think you don't have value. The more you beg, please come back, I'm over, the more you do that, the worse it gets. Because subconsciously it's like, oh, confirmed. Yeah, she has no more value. Nobody wants her or him. Right? So is this manipulation? No, it's not. Because remember, in reality, there's some kind of value that's lost. You should re-engage working on yourself. You should do that. Anyways, that's what you should do. And there's only so much energy available for you to be spreading around for no reason. There's only so much energy. You should put all that energy into working on yourself. And if you're afraid, like, what if I do that and then they leave me? Yes, what if? Can you handle that? Because that's if you can't handle that, maybe that's why they're trying to run away from you. Because clingy, needy behavior, nobody wants to be around that. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go doesn't mean you're still not fighting. Actually, it's a form of fight. But this time around, you're putting yourself first. Because if you have no value, they don't want you anyway. Right? In fact, you're fighting for your life. A bad marriage is a function of funky people. People that are not wholesome. People that are not whole. People that are struggling with their own life. They try to come into marriage and they try to create a good marriage. And then they blame marriage for it. No. It's because at least one of the individuals in that marriage is trash. That's why that marriage is trash. At least one person is trash. And if at least one person is trash, guess what? It makes the other person trash. Because they can't function in their best self, right? Okay? So that's why the idea of most people's fight is a bad idea. It's something that's, that's why I said the idea of most people's fight. Fight is, if you value something, you fight for it. But you can't value marriage over life, over a good life for yourself. You can't. It doesn't make sense. I know it makes sense on paper to a lot of people. But when you think about what marriage is, it's an institution. And any institution, social media, government, any of those things is double-edged sword. It's how you use it. You can have good set of rules of law in your books. If people don't use it properly, they can use it to manipulate other people. They can use it to oppress other people. The same rules of law, right? So it's very, very important to pay attention to all these nuances. Let go. Let go doesn't mean you're not fighting, but fighting for the marriage and not fighting for your life literally works against getting the marriage back. If the goal is to get the marriage back, one of the first few steps. Hold on 1 second. All right. The idea of fighting for a marriage when you haven't taken care of yourself is just an oxymoron. It doesn't work. Okay. And everything that's worthwhile in life is a process. So you need to respect time, process, patience in that process. And then if you can't wait through that process, maybe that's why that person is running away from you. Maybe that's why that person is filing for divorce. Just maybe, perhaps. Maybe that's why. Right? But it's going to be easier said than done. It's very difficult. Right? But that's why you need to re-engage purpose. You need to re-engage working on yourself. And you need to if you're just aware already that it's a difficult thing, then it will make sense to you. Okay? To make sense to you. But that's the best chance of getting that marriage back. Let it go. There's nothing out there in the streets for anyone anyway. Everybody will come back inside anyway. Okay? But no, they will run from that inside if you're needy and you're clingy. So let go is one of the hardest things for human beings to do. And in this case, it's the same thing. All right. Mario Tafa, good to see you. One may also become resentful. Yes, resentment is that's a chunk of the components of everything I've been describing. Absolutely. It depends if he fights for the marriage as much as she does. No, that's not a real thing. He's literally is running away. So what you just said is not the reality. Okay? It's not the reality. Now, if he's fighting for the marriage just as much as she is, they wouldn't be in the news. They're in the news because somebody gave up already. Okay? Somebody said, you know what? So imagine somebody went to file for divorce. they're fighting for their life. That person is fighting for their life. We don't have to agree with them how they decide to do that, but he's fighting for his life. You might even say, oh yeah, he's just looking to do his shekushe, he's just looking to have his cake and cake. Good. He's fighting for his life. Right? So if one person is focused on fighting for their life, I think you should fight for your own life. I think you should fight for your own life. There's a reason, like, no, but it's not always my fault. No, we don't talk about faults and blames here. We're just talking about the reality of life, how things work out. There's an ecosystem, okay, and it's balanced. It's fair already by default. Well, especially when we talk about romantic love, it's balanced. It's fair already. You just have to see the result you're generating, and then if you like something else, you have to move accordingly. You have to adjust. You have to pivot. Something about the way you're doing things is not working. Not you now. We're talking about between two people, right? So it's not just moral compass that we try to bring it to it. There are two human beings involved. So something about the way we did things before did not work, and one person is trying to run away. And the one thing you're looking to do always is to find unity. If they're looking to run away, give them what they want. And give them the freedom, because you're stuck with them anyway. In reality, this is just paperwork. Give them what they want, but let them know that you can offer listening ears if they decide to change their mind. If they decide to change their mind, they now have to fight in the marriage. You now have to go back and do the work. That's when you now do the work. You can decide if you still want to stay with that person, because you do have that autonomy and you have that agency to decide that, and you should re-engage that. And one of the things that gets killed when you experience rejection, you think you lost all agencies because your mind is telling you you're not wanted, you're of no value, everything, like it goes down, like your self-esteem goes down the drain when you experience rejection, right? And that's one of the major reasons why you need to re-engage your personal purpose, life mission, your own life, right? And if it belongs there, if you belong together, you will find your way back organically. But that hope thing, I would be careful with it, very careful. Yes, Chinya said, we as humans are something else. Yes, so it is. So she will be wasting her time fighting for the marriage then. Yeah, because the value is lost. Remember, they have differences in family values. She should be, the best way to not waste time is to fight for her life. She needs to rebuild herself back. She needs to become hot in his eyes again. That's not going to happen if she's begging for him to come back. That's not going to happen. I mean, it can, but the chances are, if everything else were equal, the chances are lower. Right? So the best way you increase your value in the eyes of people is build your value. Focus on building your self-value, your self-esteem. That's where all the focus should be. And that effectively has a downstream effect on the idea of fighting for marriage the right way. Remember, they're stuck anyway. There's nothing out there in the streets for anyone, unless we're talking about extreme cases like abuse or anything like that. There's nothing out in the streets, okay? All right? The person you marry them for a reason in the first place. And there's a good chance when you're going through divorce, the sense of value in that is lost because of some experiences, resentments, not knowing how to handle crisis and stuff like that. But you're not going to force them to see the value unless you build that value. And one of the factors in building that value is to not be readily available for a person that doesn't see value in you. You handle your business as a grown person, a grown woman, a grown man, right? And then the rest of it, you work on yourself. Meaning, if you have a household, you continue to take care of your children, you continue to take care of your responsibility, right? But you focus all that emotional energy on yourself. They will see it. If they don't see it, it's something else you don't understand. Leave it alone. Still leave it alone. When they do decide to come back, they probably will, okay? Because there's nothing in the streets, okay? Yeah, it doesn't matter if they filed for divorce 2 months ago or it's finalized. It doesn't. All of that does not matter. That only matters on paper, okay? because emotions does not give a shit about any of that stuff. Okay. When they do decide to come back, now I would hope that you're wise enough and you say, we need coaching. We need coaching. We need to learn how to actually make this work. They came back because they're now suddenly in love with you. Maybe they pin you against the wall when I kissing back and forth, like in the Hollywood movies, right? But if you don't take care of those other issues, they will, the cream always rises to the top. They will come back. So at some point, you're gonna have to say, we need to, let's engage coaching. That's something that my wife and I did, just to make sure that we don't fall for the okido, right? All right, cool, Mama Alpha, how you doing? Good to see you. Anyway, that's that with regards to so I would just reassess what we mean by fight. What do you mean by fight? If it doesn't include fighting for your own life, your self-worth, your self-esteem, is a waste of time. Precisely, that's the word that I have for you on that today. All right, I'll be right back. All right, let's get back to some coverage of the Mohbad story and all that is going on with that. Let's get back to that. Let me see. I hope I covered. There was so much more I wanted to cover, but you know how these lessons go. All right. Yep, we'll get to everything else another day. For now, let's just go back and get some updates on the Mohbad stuff. I'm just going to share some screens with you, and then we'll catch some updates on the Mohbad RIP. Mohbad lives on. There's a big celebration going on in Lagos as we speak. I think people might still be out on the street. Maybe they're already moving and stuff, All right. So today, remember, we're talking about the fake detectives, right? Some people are just so woke. Well, first of all, the update is that they exhumed his body earlier on today. Okay, his body was exhumed earlier on today, and there was a whole live stream, multiple live streams on TikTok, everywhere, as his body was exhumed and was taken back to town. Let's see here. All right, so let's go back. So there's a lot of woke people. Some people, they get their, I don't know, for some reason they look like, it seems like they just get their kick out of pushing against public opinion, right? They call them antagonists. Is that what they call them? People that have a tendency to play the devil's advocate when it's not necessary. Is that what they call them? What do they call those kind of people? I know it's a thing. It can be part of some people's personality. They're always looking for, you know what? Actually, my wife says I'm like that sometimes. They're always looking for, they see everybody, no matter talk or but they are looking for an angle to come in to look different. There's some people like that. And some people don't know when to stop with that. They don't know when they start sounding foolish and stupid with that. And that's what I want to highlight in this. They call them antagonists, right? Let me see myself, because all of them are done. They cook inside of kitchen or something. Let's see. Nato, Alpha, where you did? I know see Nato in the chat too. I know Chinye and D-Lover here. Let's see. Antagonists. A person who actively opposes or is hostile to someone or something. Okay, is the actively opposes part. An adversary. Okay, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Antagonist, right? They just always have a need to kick against, like public opinion. I guess, okay, so some people just are like that. My wife says I'm like that sometimes, but I never do it just for the doing the sake. It's because I'm seeing something else. Okay. Oftentimes I might even say, like, let me be the devil's advocate. Sometimes I might even excuse myself like that. Okay. Because I'm seeing something else authentically, and I just want to offer a different perspective. That's okay. It's okay to offer different perspectives, right? But there's sometimes that it's just not necessary. It's like some people just start coming off as very stupid, unwarranted, not necessary, and I've seen quite enough of them in the past few days when it comes to this Mohbad story. And funny enough, as I was just trying to check out for updates here on Instablog Nigeria, I've seen this. Okay, this is the first thing I've seen. This was posted 33 minutes ago, so as you can see, I was already live before this was posted, right? And let's see, it says, justice for Mohbad. The fake in you have been televised. Singer Iyanya tells Oxlade. Oh, remember a few days ago, Oxlade posted a screenshot of was that him? Yeah, of the late Mohbad messaging him, and he said he never seen it or something like that. Let me see. Anyway, Iyanya is attacking Oxlade. Iyanya is also salty. Let's be honest. He was salty. I don't know if it's better now. He was salty because at one point the whole industry kind of like blacklisted him. It was done like kukere, and then the next thing everything went dead. But that's the reality of the music industry and musicians. They're on an average, you can expect that their career will last 2 years or less. Somebody's like, no, that's not true, because they're thinking about Wizkid, Davido, and Burna Boy. Listen to me clearly. On an average, okay, most of them are one-hit wonders. Okay, they will last at tops 2 years. Okay, so yes, the chances that they will make it to become a Davido, a Burna Boy, or there's almost none. Okay, so it says, when you are fake, you will post a screenshot of how you restricted a good guy on social media. Told you one day the fake in you will be televised. Wait, he didn't mention any names now. He didn't mention any names, but anyway, we know where he's throwing shade. Okay, he's throwing shade. Let's just leave it alone. Okay, but anyway, it's you saw that a few days ago, right? That's not the kind of fake I'm talking about today. Okay, today in particular, I'm talking about people that are pointing fingers at the Iyabo Ojos, the Tonto DK, the ones that, you know, the K Solo, even the let me give him a pass. I'll keep giving him a pass. Sam Clef, yes, Sam Clef, right? All the guys that have taken this on their head and they are pushing the justice for Mohbad flag, right? So people are accusing them of being fake. Woke lame people are accusing them of being fake, right? And that's ridiculous. That's lame. That's lame. It's not everything that you get to play devil's advocate, okay? Or you want to antagonize the popular opinion, particularly when somebody's life has been lost in the middle of a conversation, right? You don't get to, it's insensitive, and it demonstrates lack of emotional intelligence, right? When the whole public is reacting a certain way to a matter of life and death, and you want to say, you know what, let's think about this one. You're not a police, you're not a detective, you're not carrying any, you're not holding any, position here where we need you to give us stats data. The only thing you need to do is either shut up or join the movement if there's a movement going on, when it's a matter of life and death. Okay, now there are exceptions to every rule, okay, but in this case, a few people have been accused of bullying this young man until he lost his life publicly too. A few people have been accused of lacing people's drinks and food with poison in the name of drugs, right? Somebody has lost their life. Another man has literally lost his, he has mental health issues now. DJ Splash. right? So it's ridiculous that anybody will come out and try to act like and sound woke and say stupid stuff that doesn't hold weight. And then when the public react and push against them, they now say people are being emotional. They're supposed to be emotional. Again, lack of emotional intelligence. They're supposed to be emotional. Right? And at best, what you have is unrealistic expectations. Right? At best. Anyway. So now, speaking of woke people, let me share this with you. Some media personality, Rega, lambast Davido. Remember, the title of this stream is Davido shows up to Mohbad. Like Mohbad lives on, and guess who is mad? A couple of people are mad. Hey, Bomi, how you doing, Bomi? Good to see you. A couple of people are mad. Okay, guess who's mad? Somebody I don't know. Okay, Rega lambast Davido for, let's see. Okay, let me read this. Maybe they have a sense in it, okay? I haven't read it. I just saw, I was like, okay, haters. Because earlier in the evening, Davido came out to support. He's out there on the streets. He actually claimed that he flew in just to make sure he's at this candlelight. You know, he was one of the first to donate money to that family when this happened, right? So, but somebody needs to be woke and says they need to shine, I guess, right? So Daniel Rega, I don't know what this is. Maybe we can tell. Let me see if I can find what this is. Daniel Rega, Twitter. Okay, he's a nobody. Okay, it's a nobody. Let me see if Instablog gave it a title. A media personality. Okay, anyway, let's see what he said. Davido is attending Mohbad's candlelight memorial, but still following Naira Marley on Instagram. What are we gonna do with this now? Okay, does he have a point? What do you guys think? Does he have a point? Does he have a point with that? Okay, that tweet is still being retweeted. People are replying to it. I wonder what they're saying. Let me go check it out. Let me finish reading it first, then we'll go into the comment section, you know. But still following Naira Marley on Instagram. How can one claim to be seeking justice for the dead and still associate with one of the people that assaulted them? This was how he supported the NSAS protest, then denied afterwards. Wala. Does he have a point? I'm asking you. Hold on, I'll come to the chat in a second. Celebs with connections should channel their energy to the right place. How come everyone is attending Mohbad's candlelight memorial now, but failed to show up for his burial? The burial was too quick. Wait, there's going to be another burial, I hope. If they really want to do right by late Mohbad, they should call for the arrest and prosecution of those that maltreated him when he was alive. Does it mean that they should call names already? Okay, because even me here, I'm only saying allegedly, because I don't know if they, I don't know, it's allegedly, right? Because I wasn't there, right? So how much more a Davido? Davido is not a person as of today. That is a whole entity, a multi-million-dollar entity, conglomerate of different operations, right? So that destroys the first statement. He's still following Naira Marley. If you want, you can go on and follow Naira Marley. That's not a big deal. They can make that happen anytime, right? So maybe I'm giving excuses for him, right? But the point is that this part where he says end SARS and then denied afterwards, I think I remember that. But again, in that situation, there was a whole city fighting for a cause. A lot of people lost their lives, but again, they were fighting for the cause, right, of end SARS, right? In this situation, there's one person that's been single-handedly pointed out, which is Mohbad, and there's a situation that's going on right here, and he shows up to the candlelight, and somehow somebody is saying it's not enough. Kò sọ́gbọ́n tó lè dá, kò síwá tó lè wú. kò sọ́nà tó lè mọ̀ tó lè fi táyé lọ́rùn o. Ilé ayé fúngbà díẹ̀ ni o. Anyway, Dilo says, I do agree that celebrities should unfollow Naira. You said should. You know what should means, right, Dilo? Come back and tell me. You've been here for a minute. Tell us what should means. Tell us what should means for the Prestige family. Come on, tell us. Come on, tell us. Oluyomi says, members of Davido's teams are actively seeking for justice, supposedly, right? Listen, these are public figures. They are out there for the candlelight, right? We have to still see that for what it is, right? If we start to now infer and start pulling different things out of it, I think it's a reach, okay? There are literally people that have not posted, okay? And also, even Malian Music, it's a whole company. As far as the government is concerned, they are registered and they're collecting hundreds of thousands of dollars in royalty in that camp, right? So if they're gonna be held accountable too, just pointing fingers is not good enough. You have to make sure you do your due diligence properly. And that takes time. That's when they said 2 weeks yesterday. I was like, okay, we'll see what happens, right? But there's another post I saw earlier today. There are people some doctors, some people that lost their lives and they're still not, like months ago. There's no autopsy report yet. And people have forgotten. Because they said one of the lab professionals or something like that they were not available, or there's nobody who is a specialist in Nigeria to do certain reports. I hope the same thing doesn't happen for Mohbad, right? Mm-hmm. But the point I'm making there is this: if he's out with his full chest to support the cause, I think that's good enough. I think that's good enough. Personally, I think that's good enough. But let's see what because I found this man on Twitter. Let's see what the chat is saying. Some prom says, you're always online finding fault in people's actions. That's what I sensed. That's what I sense. I don't know this person, but that's what I sense. Hold on. Let me blow this up. Let me blow this up so you guys can see clearly. Okay. There you go. Let's go through it together. Same guy that talked down on Wizkid for not posting, but Davido even went out and he's still complaining. You supposed to know, say this one the crazy. see wait till you go satisfy this boy now. Wait till you go satisfy this boy now. Oh, precisely what I said. Listen, there's some people you can't satisfy, and it's okay, it's fine, in general, you can't satisfy the world. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. You can't satisfy the world. This guy go just they enter all the celebrities, he get locked, say no be Machala, he enter Sha. Who's Machala? What will Machala do? Who is Machala? You talk a whole lot of someone that does absolutely nothing for their community. Jesus. The Booba girl. Is this a girl with... Do you mean he's chasing clouds? And I don't think Davido is still following Naira Marley on IG. Mm-hmm. This is the girl that... I remember this name. Her sex tape leaked the other day. Davido is king, unlike African Ant. He's the realest in the... Okay, so people are here defending Davido. Davido stood up for the NSARS and now he's standing up for injustice against Mohbad. But you are here searching for the faults in Davido. Give the man his flowers, Daniel. Mm-hmm. So no one is perfect, obviously. No one is perfect. I'm just saying, like, come on. Like, can you give the man, cut him some slacks? He came out. I'm not even sure I'm not even sure there are too many artists that came out like that, But again, let me myself manage my expectations. There's nothing you can do to satisfy human beings. It is what it is. All right, so let me see here. Let's see here. There's a particular post that I wanted to highlight today from Reno Omokri. Reno Omokri is something else. That guy is something else. Let's see. Before we get into that, let's just browse through some of this stuff here. Let me see. Did you know that Mohbad's father is a singer? Did you all know or you didn't know? Have you seen this? Mohbad's father is a singer. Davido is making a statement by just being there. That's more than unfollowing on Instagram. That's a fact. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wait, Dilo say absolutely. Dilo is come back on our side. Good. All right. Did you know that he's a singer or you didn't know? Let me show you something. All right. I'll come back to Reno. Let me show you something. Let's see.
Wọ́n ti yorùkọ yí padà sí rere. Bàbá òpìpì ó pọ̀ pa ó pọ̀ gan o.
He said it, Baba Opipi ó pọ̀ pa.
Kí ni bàbá yẹn ṣe gan lábí wa?
Wait. Let me make it bigger.
Kàràmàdà ó dá wa lọ́lá nínú ìjọ wa o. Ẹ̀yin gbogbo èèyàn, ẹ̀yin bàbá mi o. Ó mú wa jókòó pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ aládé. Ó mú wa lọ sí àomi dídákẹ́ rọ́rọ́. Ìgbẹ́ ló tu ọkàn mi lára. Ọlọ́run wa jígbẹ́ sí o.
Òun ló ń ṣohun tuntun o. Òun ló ń ṣohun tuntun láyé wa.
Ọlọ́run orí mọ́ládé.
Òun ló ń ṣohun tuntun o. Òun ló ń ṣohun tuntun láyé wa.
Listen. In this respect, the apple does not fall or the mango fall too far. How do they say that? Oh Jesus! You know do me well. You know do me well, yo. Dilo say, did he just say Nino Ijo? So they are not Muslim. No, they are not Muslim. He said his son was going to build a church for him. You missed that part. His son was going to build a church for him. I think he's a pastor. No, they're not Muslim at all. Maybe, I think somebody said background Muslim. Maybe his grandfather. You never know, right? No, but they're not Muslim. And he's come out to say in Yoruba land. He said in Yoruba land that you don't keep such dead body. That's why he wanted to bury as soon as possible. It's just a sad situation. He's also said that. Okay. The apple does not fall far from the tree. Thank you, Jare Neni. Thank you for helping me with that. Jesus. Oyibo. Wow. He's a good singer, right? It's a good singer. Awesome. Listen, I'm not mad at him. But anyway, today, as far as today is concerned, let me show you some videos of the after the exhumation of his body. All right, let's see. I'll play the audio too.
Ó japo ṣe. Ó japo Ọlọ́run pa ọwọ́ ìjọ. Ó japo ni na. Ẹ wò last buy. Ẹ má mọ̀ kó japo ni. Àpá ènìyàn náà. Gbogbo àwọn kìnìyàn ṣe léṣe. Ó japo ó ṣe báyìí tó ṣe wà ẹ́. Ṣé mọ́lá lè pè wá ní láti dé ṣé ń wá àyìn. Ọ̀pá mo bá nínú ìjà ṣọ́jà òwe ni.
All right, so what they were saying is that they saw fresh blood at the site after it was exhumed, and after they taken the body, some people went there and they were looking at it and they were saying they saw. And that what that guy is saying is that since they saw fresh blood, they killed him. That's what they were saying. We don't know. We're just saying, But that's some of the stuff that happened earlier on today. But the good news is that his body is in the lab now, and we have a chance that they will get to some truth about what happened to him, right? The other news that came out after I finished the show yesterday is that the nurse who administered injection for him had been arrested. Okay, that's the other news from yesterday. And also another news that came out is that there's arrest warrants. Well, not yet, but they've sent out message and asked they've asked Naira Marley and Sam Larry to report themselves to the station. So I don't think this. I think there might be arrest warrants out already. I'm not sure, but they said if they don't answer, I know they said at least if they don't answer, that there will be that they will put out arrest warrants and stuff like that. All right. So for people who say it's 2 weeks, I think people are kind of happy about that, and you know, they feel like they're moving fast already. Okay. All right. Now the other thing that I was looking at, like, if they dug up this body from that place, why wouldn't they cover that place? Why won't they cover that hole? I don't understand. Yeah. Like, is that too much to do for the people who came to dig up the body? Just to, first of all, that hole becomes hazard for the general public because it's like, anyway, let me leave that alone. Okay, I'll leave that alone for now. But that's just weird that they would dig up that body and not cover it. It's just that's just weird. Okay. Okay. Anyway, let me show you this. This is Tonto. Went to visit the mother today. Tonto DK and the guy who slapped a woman inside of sex toys store, the senator guy. Remember that guy? You guys saw that news? Yeah. Oh, Tonto was crying. Oh. Wow, she's still crying. The mother is crying. Wọ́n bó bàtà ọ̀fọ̀ sẹ́nu ọ̀nà wa o. Àmì. Anyway, so that was that. So they visited them today. Sad situation still. Like nobody wants that type of scenario in their family. All right, so now I'm gonna show something. Let me see here. Let's go back. All right, so this is one of the videos of the Sienna that was carrying the body earlier on. You know, I kept looking at it. I'm like, okay, where is the, like, it doesn't make sense that that small Sienna was carrying it, but then eventually I was like, okay, maybe they took the body out and put the body in the body bag. But very sad sight to see here. Trigger alert, okay. But that was the Sienna that was carrying the body. So we just hope right now that they will give him a proper befitting burial, you know. That's what we hope right now. Okay, I'm not gonna, let me stop showing that. Sorry about that. Let me stop showing that. Let's see. Okay. Hold on a second. D-Love says, yeah, I knew I recognized that face. The sex shop senator. Yes. Hey, man of prestige. Hey, Yvette, I asked about you the other day. How you doing? Late we'll watch on replay. Yes, Yabo said the nurse was arrested and the investigation has begun. Tonto and others are bringing pressure. So good to see. Yes. Yep. Kerewato D, you're hiding behind the scenes too, all of you, eh? Yes, that burial site should be guarded and the whole cover, like just like not even because of Mobile, since all the woke people are saying why Mobile, just for safety. Like, why would you leave that thing open like that? It makes no sense. Okay, like no, not only should you not leave it open, there shouldn't be any sight of blood where people are filming it, anything like that. That's crazy. Anyway, let me stop the Oyinbo. You know, it's Nigeria. At least they're doing. At least they're doing, at least they're doing the investigation. So let's be hopeful. Oh man, I love that song. But this was the candlelight procession earlier when they were making their way to the small concert it looks like they had tonight. Yeah. D says, very sad. I haven't been able to put myself together since the incident. Nothing makes sense at all. I hope the police will do right by us with regards to transparency and authenticity. Yeah, they started very well today by releasing all those news, so that's good. That's good. He'll be getting the befitting burial. Yeah, at this point they better. Yep. You asked about me. Was away in Long Island with family and friends. That's awesome. Love it. All right, so let me see here. I think I'm making my way to the Reno mockery stuff. Okay. Now earlier today there was news and rumors going around that Baba Tinubu's son, Sheyi Tinubu, donated $15 million. That's what we're getting earlier on today. But then, somebody came and debunked that. I was like, you know what? No. I don't know if this person is assistant to him or something like that. But the person is saying, nah, Kojo. Right? But I'm just going to read this of what the person said. Some JJ Omojua. JJ Omojua, I wonder who that person is. Let me see if I can find who that person is. Maybe the person is like an advisor or something like that. Let's see. JJ Omojua. Okay, let's see. Is this guy right here? Author, works, Alpha Reach, board, blah blah blah. Okay, he's somebody, I guess. He has 1.2 million followers. Okay. He said something here. This is a good point. This is from September 14. Music is a contradiction at times. Most of the songs that give you the greatest joy and feeling were made by people in the darkest of places and experiences. That's a fact. That is a fact. But anyway, let me get back to the statement he made about Sheyi Tinubu. It says Sheyi Tinubu did not donate 15 million naira to Mohbad's kid or family. I would know because I have been discussing with him on the issue for several days. Bella's mother mentioned Sheyi in a tweet and I immediately forwarded it to him. The same way I have forwarded tweets around policy interventions to him and he's gone ahead to help advance causes. When I know the source of the relevant tweet, I message them to let them know I am helping to push the matter. This time, he called me and asked what he could do. I shared my thoughts. This is the same person accusing Davido. I put Sheyi Tinubu in that same category. It's not as simple as just jump on the internet and start having a statement. It's not that simple, okay? The ones that are doing that, they tend to be one-man mopo and they are at certain levels in society. It's okay to do that too, right? But there are certain people that just can't run out into the internet and start making statements. He continued, he said, I said not to get sucked into the social media thing because whatever he said or did would be politicized. That's a fact. I then went on to say, irrespective of that, we should prioritize his family, especially his kid. He said he'd commit to the kid's education and also support the wife immediately. but we also knew there was still a danger of that getting used against him politically. That's the world we now live in. No, that's the world you've always lived in. To whom much is expected, much is required. That's how it works. It is what it is. It's why one can only move the best way you can. That's why Davido cannot run back in time and say, because I can say that, okay, but Davido can't afford to say that because yes, literally human beings will expect you to be perfect when you are at a certain status in society. That's just the way it works, okay? And there's no shaming the public that can ever fix that. It is what it is. All right, so hit the like button. Hit the like button. Thank you. Hit that like button. I appreciate all of you. We're gonna round up on time today. I promise. I promise this. I promise you. All right. Let's show a little bit of This was Davido outside today. This is what got them pissed off. So Davido was outside today to support this guy. I already said that earlier.
I go poly, but I no go class, daddy.
Yeah, I can't play the music for too long, but these are the people out there today. Awesome. Good stuff. So the pressure is a lot. You know, yesterday they said they canceled a walk. That was just a walk to the police station. They can't cancel this. Okay, they can't cancel this. Who are they? Who are the Yoruba vigilante group? What are you talking about? What did I miss? Did I miss? Okay, wait. Hey girl, good regarding the guardian of the site, vigilante. Oh, okay. Wait. I missed some things though. Let me come back. This is a vigilante guarding the site. There is a vigilante guarding the site. Yes. Okay. All right, that's good to know. I heard that too. I think I heard that. Yes, maybe they couldn't cover it because of part of the test that they might still need to do, right? Maybe that's why. Okay, so that's a good point, Chinye. That's a good point. Maybe that's why. But those people had access to be filming it like that. Clearly, vigilante are not doing their job. Okay, all right. Let's just leave that alone. You know me, I'll not be detective. I'm just looking at things from how I see them. All right, let's see here. All right, we already posted some of this video. Files was also out there today. Let's see.
When I say go back, you say money. Go back. When I say justice, you say money. Justice. My name is Pastor Baghdad. Thank you so much.
All right, that's awesome. Somebody said they wanted to bury him. They didn't know he's a seed. I'm sure his killer thought is just something that will be swept under the carpet. Little did they know that the spirit is even more stronger. Hashtag Imole. That's awesome. For the people who are resilient over Imole, with or without you, light has come to stay. All right. Like that. Listen, I'm coming back to Reno Mokri in a second. I have to find him. Let's find this woke person who is always looking for. Okay, I found him. Okay. So Reno Mokri actually posted a whole large picture of Imole here. Okay. He actually posted a whole picture. Okay. But then I'm reading the first two lines. I'm like, nah, I want to do this on live. So we're gonna read it together. D-Love says, Mohbad said in the song that they will run away from Lagos, and they did. They are on the run. Let me see. So Reno Omokri, if you don't know who Reno Omokri is, let me show you who Reno Omokri. Reno Omokri used to be an advisor to the past president, President Goodluck Jonathan. Okay, President Goodluck Jonathan of the, you know, I don't know, the second, third, fourth, fifth president of Nigeria. I don't know, but anyway, he was the president all the way up to 2015. I guess 2011 to 15. He did 2 terms, right? This is Reno Omokri right here. This is him. If you don't know what we're talking about, that's Reno Omokri. He had something funny to some woke stuff to say about Reno Omokri. Always come from this angle of woke stuff. Some things he says will make sense. Some things, you know, like I saw him did like some kind of Oriki hailing Yoruba people, even though it's not a Yoruba. The other day I was like, Orimi go. I was like, okay. Reno Omokri. I even almost wanted to make a point out of it, but listen, Nigeria can't. We don't need to encourage anything tribalistic at all. So I try to shy away from that because I know how sensitive those things are. But anyway, I'm going to read it out to you. This is what Reno said about the passing of. He said this like literally like 3 hours ago. This was just before I came on. So remember I said I wasn't going to come live. You know, I wasn't sure if I was going to come live, but I saw this. I was like, you know what? This fake love detectives and police, this would be a good topic. Then I already had the Young Jeezy stuff, and you know, it's like, let's just come and talk. Okay. But we made it. We have 13 more minutes to go today. Great to see the people are out. Yes, that's awesome. He will say something good and then spoil it. Yes, like they usually do, right? Yep. A lot of them do that. So he's one of those type. He will say something good and then will spoil it. Yep. But anyway, let me get into reading what he said. Hold on a second. He said, it is better to be hated while you are alive than to be loved when you are dead. How do you know that it's better? How do you know that it's better? Okay, you're only talking about somebody that's clearly passed away. Right? How would he know that it's better? He's no longer here, right? Anyway, let's continue. Again, there's this obvious truth and facts that they will state, and you're like, oh yeah, I know. Anybody can relate. Like, yeah, please. So you know what did Portable say? Portable say, I beg, go celebrate me or when I'm here. Celebrate me, right? Did he know it was going to pass away? Did the people know it was going to pass away? If people react the way they react to the passing of a young man, 27 years old, and they respond with love, is he aware that he's trying to discount this love and calling it fake love? I've seen a few of them, by the way. One of them was the very dark man. I think I covered that here yesterday. That one is trying to double down too, but people can see through him. Fake love kills faster than fake medicine. That's what he just said. Okay? And quote, this young man's suffering were videoed. His ordeal was in the open amongst the circles he moved in. Among the circles he moved in is not the same thing. Okay? It's not the same thing as the whole world has now been exposed to this news. Like, I didn't know this guy. I didn't know him. I just knew his music before all of this happened. Yeah? I didn't know him. Majority of people that are celebrating him right now, celebrating him by his life, by his ways of his music, majority of those people, they couldn't put face to the music. They just loved the music. And I was one of those. Right? I mean, just today, let me show you this. Check this out. This is... That's Times Square. That's Times Square, New York City. Do you think an average person in New York City know who this guy? But now they know. Why are you mad that people now know who? I don't understand. Why is it smelling like you're angry that people now know him? You're trying to camouflage it as you just wish he was here. No, stop. This is unnecessary woke nonsense. They're celebrating him now. They're looking for justice for whatever crime or criminal behavior might have been involved in his passing. But you're here trying to distract with woke nonsense. It's not making sense. But let me continue what he said. I'm going to continue what he said. He said his ordeal was in the open amongst the circles he moved in. His friends, who are now releasing videos, ought to have intervened. They didn't intervene. Stop distracting from seeking justice. Stop distracting people from celebrating his legacy. He continues, an intervention when Mohbad was alive is better than an allegation now that is dead. Now, let me push back a little bit. Okay, maybe he's saying that the police, then he should mention the police. The police should have, because I think Adiola Fayo did something to that effect later, that the police killed him because he actually filed a petition. I agree with that, but then mention the police. But there's a bunch of his colleagues that you're talking about, they were busy with their own livelihood. Some of them, yes, they could have, but now they're celebrating him. Stop trying to water that down with woke narratives. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, I guess it makes sense to them, but that's how I see this. Friends who did not celebrate him on their profiles whilst he was alive have turned their profiles into shrines when he's dead. Maybe he has a lesson for us at the end of it. I didn't finish reading yet. Maybe he has a lesson for us. Let's wait for it, right? But that's what people do. People celebrate people on their birthdays. Doesn't mean they didn't argue yesterday. People celebrate people when they pass away. People go to people's funerals that they haven't seen in 12 years. I just did that like a few months ago. A friend that I had not seen her in a long time. We ended up at her funeral. People are busy with life. If you're not close to that person, but if they pass away, you can connect some type of way. You remember the memories, you've seen them before, you can relate with them, or their family members. Imagine somebody comes to you and starts talking and say, don't show fake love right now. Don't just come and show like. So you're the one that has the real love. Some people were accusing people of chasing clouds. Shout out to you, Ledoche. But then they are posting about it, just giving their own opinion. This is weird, okay? Friends who did not celebrate him on their profile now, okay, let's give people we love a befitting life rather than a befitting memory. That's unrealistic at best. We can remind people to celebrate themselves, remind your friends, call your friends, check on them. By the way, when we finish this show in about 7 minutes, you see I'm counting down myself. Check on some of your friends you haven't seen in a while. You should do that. Okay? The reason why I'm saying that, because I know that the reality is that you probably don't do that often enough. But it's not a crime. It's just reality. People are busy in life. Right? Sometimes they cry out. Sometimes you call them just at the right time. They needed to hear somebody. Right? Sure, then let's talk about that. The tone needs to change a little bit, as opposed to trying to shame people that are celebrating his legacy and trying to water that down. Like, no, this guy has a legacy, a massive impact on the world, and the few people that knew him, they're now spreading that. Anyway, let's continue. If you like insult me, now I'm not insulting you, but it's lame behavior. He knew that we were going to do it. I don't need your validation. Are you sure? This is what they say. I don't need your validation. Why are you posting? These people.
Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care. I don't.
Does he care or he doesn't care? Right? He doesn't. Oh Lord. Let me play this for him. They are undefeated. I guess he's just having his opinion. It's okay, you know. I guess he just wanted to have his opinion. Let me continue. Hold on 1 second. Where's this thing? Yeah. Oh, okay, there you go. All right. So he continues. He says, I don't need validation. God has blessed me with money and fulfillment. So I speak my mind, not what you want to hear.
Are you stupid? Are you a crazy person? You not mad? You know me before? Who be this one? Who the are you?
Anyway. Chia says, thanks for coming live. You don't buy before. Thank you, D. That's a good question. You don't buy before. How would you know that it's better? That was the question I was trying to ask, Jerry. Thanks for helping me with that. You don't buy before.
You doing what?
Exactly. He likes to yawn dust. Anyway, I have a feeling that we're gonna drag Reno a little bit more here, because sometimes he just says some things. He can't call it fake love because a lot of us have not heard his name. Yeah, exactly. Just because, wow, we can connect with, like, oh, that must have been painful. We see all this story we've been covering all this while, and then somebody is saying fake love. What are you talking about? I heard his music but didn't know his name. Yeah, like me too. What was this? Yeah. Aisha Kanu, what's up? It's just sad a very young talented guy like this. Yeah, the whole everybody so happy for Imola. Yep. This was in that okay, you guys are talking about the Times Square. Yeah, that was in Times Square. Chia, he's very silly fellow, don't mind him. Yeah, these are the people that want to go to heaven but they don't want to die. Yeah, not them. Yep. It would have blown his mind. The truth is that if he was alive, we agree he could have made it there one day. Davido made it to that screen. Davido was when he released the last album, right? But that tells you that this man was a star. He's a star even after life. That's all that matters. You don't turn around to the public and start shaming them. I don't know what he's trying to accomplish by that. I know what he's trying to accomplish.
You're right.
Yeah, it's the obsession with being right, nothing else. He said it. He said he doesn't need validation. Precisely what he needs. Precisely. This man is truly light even after he left this world. Yeah. Yes, this would have been one of the places he wanted to visit. He already made it to London, Greece, according to Ogapolu, if I understood him well. Right? It was only a matter of time. You know, I was even thinking, we're just thinking out loud, right? That if he knew, maybe he should have had somebody following him, if he could afford it, follow him around with cameras. And every time they threaten him, film it again. That's what Portable did. Portable yelled out into, like, some people were trying to harass Portable. I don't know if you guys remember. Every single time, even the police, when they came to harass him in his shrine the other day, he started, when you remember the Zazu, remember that stuff? He turned it to a song, but I bet you, my wife was actually telling me that I think the MC Oluomo said nobody should touch that guy. At some point, they're like, if you touch him, you're in Oyo, we would disown you. You know, you see how Elegushi, the family of Elegushi, all these big people are disowning Sam Larry, and they're disowning anybody with the name Sam Larry? Yeah, they would have disowned anybody who touched him after a while. Like, listen, there's a guy on social media saying somebody is harassing him. Tell them to stop. Like, the big guys, they get to a point, they will be like, okay, that's too risky. Can that person stop? But I think he was also still trying to appease them, trying to see if we can find a common ground but he was also scared. This is where the fear comes from. You know? Because that would have added to his star, and then that would have added to his popularity, and then he would have become safer, right? Because we all have access to this microphone and camera. Use it. If somebody is trying to harass you, use it. You know? Don't use it to come and drag your significant other in public. You collect. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay? Somebody's like, but like you said, don't jump on the internet. If somebody is threatening your life, a complete stranger, because of business. No, of course you should say something. You say, that's what part of what you do. Have the camera following you, have them film everything. So if somebody starts chasing you, you mention their name. Because honestly, I know it's easier said than done, because again, remember, who wants to die, right? So you don't know, if you do something like that, you put yourself in more jeopardy. You don't know, you know. But anyway, I digress. You know, Mohbad endured a lot before he died, and I feel so guilty for that. Oh, don't feel guilty. His legacy is bigger than his life, which is life, you know. His legacy is life for a lot of people. Think about that. Think about it that way, right? He lived in daily fear and paranoia. No one deserves that. I don't even know him, but it feels so personal. Yeah, that's what this guy is trying to water down. She say they play. They play. Anyway, in his song, he told us to drag anyone who he reached out to but ignored him. If only I were on the gram. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, you guys like that? I feel like it could be low-key jealousy. No, yeah, sure, but this guy is known to have obsession with being right. So he's known for that. Yes, drag this guy some more. Mohbad has a very strong head and destiny. Some have gone down in the hands of this Malian mafia, but no one heard a peep. But he's creating so much noise. Yes, but Patrick, good to see you, sir. His mom, dad, brothers, everyone should have come on the internet and screamed every day. By the time his mother starts rolling on the floor, yelling Naira Marley, people will intervene. This is going to teach a lot of people lessons. If anybody's harassing you, jump out, say something. Have a camera following you everywhere. Film everything. Go live often. Go live as often as you can. Especially if your career is attached to going live and getting more attention. I think Portable should be studied in this respect. Right? I think it should be studied. It makes a sweet balance between Portable and speed darting. We serve justice, and then this guy, you get more popular, and then some of these guys will be held accountable, because I'm telling you, the big guys, they don't want this. They don't want the smoke. They don't want that type of smoke. They will make a few calls. Where's the one that's harassing this one? They say, well, it's me. You think if they told Tinubu, I'm not suggesting anything. Do you think if they told Tinubu that there's this guy that's basically saying somebody is harassing him, if they told him, you think he would be like, oh yeah, go ahead and keep harassing him? Right? If it becomes noise enough that it's attached to his name, right? No, he will do exactly what Elegushi is doing. He was like, who? I don't know what that is. Even if it was the political talk before. It gets to a point, it becomes too dangerous for the bigger fish they're trying to fry. They're like, Baba, you don't cross the line. Now you need to go down. And you snitch, you get stitches. So you better not mention names. You go down by yourself. We warned you. We told you to leave that boy alone. Give him the paper. Sign it off. Let him go. Let him go. The people that understand power, they understand letting go. They know the difference between the power of attention, the power of the people, and the power that they're trying to hog up onto. And they know that there's always a balance between the two. There's a dance between the two, and they know how to play that. But some of these young ones that they get small money, like Sam Larry, they don't know when their pride is taking them over and is about to destroy them. They don't know. People like Naramali, they don't know. It's small money that gets them. Somebody give them $2 million, they're like, I'm $1 million, like, and they start acting stupid. But that thing can finish if you make the wrong move tomorrow. Like, all of that can finish instantly. You know. But yes, let's see. Yeah, we're just talking in hindsight, right? But I'm here to celebrate Mohbad. For me personally, I think legacy is bigger than life. Okay, it's a mindset. Okay, Nigerians, we have a tendency to wayemaya. I don't know how to say that. Somebody help me in English. How do you say wayemaya in English? Okay, we have a culture of people that want to go to heaven that don't want to die. Okay, so they do everything to look for this. Yeah, they were scared. The mom said Mohbad told her, yeah, it's the fear. It's easier said than done, because you don't know if you make the wrong noise, if they're gonna come and hunt you down, all this kind of stuff. So what I just described takes a lot of courage. It would take a lot of courage, and Portable should be applauded for that. He says it a lot. He said, he says it a lot, and that's the reality. But the way we feel, oftentimes fear, greed is disconnected from reality. Reality is that no one can really kill anybody's star. Okay, they can only kill the body, and if they see that you're too dangerous to even touch you, they have a tendency to leave you alone. Because you're too dangerous for everything else they got going on, right? But all of this is all sad. All of this is all sad. Let me even stop the analysis because it's just ridiculous. And the only thing we should be focused on right now is accountability. Accountability on the part of the police first, because they filed a petition with them and they did nothing about that. We can't forget that. Somebody needs to be held accountable for that. We're glad to hear that the nurse has been arrested. We need to know what happened there. They should have made a public, whoever that hospital and that nurses should have made a public statement by now. They should have called a conference call. They should have called a news conference, and said, we have a news conference, make a call to decision. They will come. Channel TV will come. They will want to film this. Why is the hospital quiet? No one should be receiving any injection unless they've been registered in that system. So you would know that, yeah, that person was here. You would also know that this person is a public figure if the system works. Right? So you would have called news conference. You don't have to wait until the police calls you for an investigation, because it's clearly public interest as part of accountability. But imagine such intimidating characters and operating under the assumption that he said that the said intimidating characters have strong links with the government and police. They must have they did feel helpless. Yeah, precisely. Everything I said earlier is easier said than done, and it takes a lot of courage to be that person that would do that, that would not have that active fear for their life, So remember, he was afraid for his life. He was also trying to feed his family at the same time. All of that was probably too much for him. I would choose to celebrate his wins and life going forward. Yes, just do that. That's it. Because all of us have a day now that's coming out. That's inevitable. It's everybody. It's just sad that some people, some of the greatest in the history of mankind, they're not here for that long, for as long as ideally we would like it to be, right? What's the name? Belafonte. Belafonte passed away at the age of 90 something. That guy that was from the Caribbeans, you have a few like that, but then some of the ones that have the impact, 50s, 60s, 40s, the Martin Luther Kings of this world, people like that, Listen, life is short. It is a default for every single person. No matter how long you've been here, even at 100, nobody wants you to go if you have that kind of impact, right? So the best we can do is celebrate life, celebrate every moment, celebrate every present. Stop being so obsessed with the past and the future. Celebrate the present as much as you can. Okay. 96, yeah. Yeah, they usually don't last that long. The greatest, the ones, they don't, And there's a nobody right now that's 110 years old somewhere in somebody's village. Nobody knows, right? It's just how life works, right? But Nigeria, we have work to do. Average lifespan in Nigeria, I think 50 something. In the United States, 78. That's a lot. That's another conversation, though, But Nigerians have an obsession with afterlife, but then it doesn't reflect in the way they live life. They don't reflect it in the quality of life, in intentionally living a high quality of life. They don't. Okay, maybe I'm generalizing because I think a lot of human beings actually have that tendency. But be reminded that nothing and no one lasts forever. So celebrate life, celebrate people's life. Try to look at things from a standpoint of gratitude, right? Don't be somebody who's always looking for something wrong. Things are wrong quite often. If you are looking for it, before you know you're seeing it. It engages your energy. You're wasting a lot of energy on it. Engage life with gratitude. Okay? Yeah. All right. So that's it. News conference. Yes. Thank you, Just J. Yes, this story is making waves. You should check it out. Yep, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. This is one of the most promising Afrobeat artists. He was just on his way up, But sadly, we're left with having to celebrate his life and legacy. All right, so we're gonna leave it at that today. I try not to do it, but I'm still 12 minutes over time. I try, but yeah. Let's just say R.I.P. Mohbad. We'll continue to cover it, okay? Just know I will always cover it, even if the topic doesn't say it. Whatever updates we're getting, I will continue to bring it. So just keep that at the back of your mind, all right? Thank you so much. Hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One loving up, we done enough.